We've all been told that discipline is all you need to become successful, is to stick to it, be focused, study, learn, show up every day. This is what we're told. And we've been told to believe this. It's a half truth, okay? It's a half truth, and discipline is not all that is enough to reach your goals. Discipline alone will not help you reach your goals. Just like love is not enough to sustain a relationship, discipline is not enough to sustain long term success. There's three traits that they don't guarantee you will become successful, but it's a very high chance that you will. These three traits are literally prevalent within so many successful people, so many high class athletes, celebrities, you know, high profile people. These three traits are clearly within these people. And there's a book about these three traits. I believe it's called The Triple Threat, something like that. You can go out and check the book if you like. I haven't actually read this book myself. I don't need to read it. I've seen enough to understand what the book is talking about. So instead of actually regurgitating what the book is saying, I'm going to put this in my own words. All right? I'm going to put it in my own words, in my own perspective, because I'm also talking from experience. Because I do believe that I also possess these traits. And most likely, if you're watching this video, you probably do possess these traits. I feel like a lot of people do possess these traits. They're just dormant, locked away, or extinct, or just they're not being used. Okay? And awareness is the key. For you to do anything, you got to be aware of it. And if you are aware of these traits that are within you, you can utilize that. And you can use the cards that you yourself are dealt with. All right. If you don't possess these three traits, you may struggle to succeed. Okay. I have Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Cristiano Ronaldo. These are my three examples, and this is how I'm going to break it down to you. Okay. Champions are broken. I have this subtext here because when I look at successful people, people see, oh, they're so successful. Oh, they must be so talented. They're so skilled. Oh, they must have been lucky. But when I see successful people, when I see champions, I see broken people. Okay? I'm not glorifying the suffering, but I look at it like that because what did it take for you to reach the levels that you're at? What sacrifices did you have to make to reach the levels that you're at? What trauma and pain did you have to go through to reach where you're at? A lot of us say we want to be as successful as Michael Jackson. If only I could have his life. If only I could have Kobe's life. If only I could have Cristiano's life. It's like you say these things without understanding that if you want that, you would have to go through every single thing that these people had to go through. And I don't think some people can hack it. Not everybody can withstand that. Okay, God will not give you struggle. God will not give you struggles that you cannot overcome. And maybe you weren't meant to have a life like Michael Jackson because you wouldn't be able to handle the stuff that he went through. Maybe you weren't supposed to have a life like Kobe because you couldn't handle the stuff that he went through. So first, I want to cover how willpower and discipline is simply not enough. All right. Once again, we were forced to believe that to become successful, all you need is focus and discipline. That's why I'm saying it's a half truth. It's not entirely true because what really drives it all, and I can say purpose because purpose, conviction, whatever, but what really drives it all is emotion. Okay? Without emotion, there's no fuel, there's no drive, there's no conviction, there's no energy in motion. Okay? You need emotion to really bridge everything. You can't use willpower on its own. We're not We get tired. We're humans. We get tired, bro. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how disciplined you are. I don't care how. I don't care. You could be a monk. You could be the most disciplined person on the planet. You get tired. You get unmotivated. You get lazy. You get complacent. That is fact. You are human. Life happens in waves. Sometimes life happens and it becomes overwhelming. You can't focus your discipline on all one area of life because life is happening in this other area that you need to take care of. Okay? You need emotion. Emotion is key. It's energy in motion. Motivation is great because that is the emotion. Motivation is one of the greatest sources of emotion on the planet, but it is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's great, but you must know how to capitalize off it. It's an emotion, but it's not the same as desire and obsession. All right? And I see desire and obsession as more so states of mind. But if you can tap in to desire and obsession, what are you desiring? Okay? Not just this is what I want. I want to become a football player. I want to become a music artist. I want to become a boxer. I want to become a influencer. What do you desire? What are you actually desiring? What are you longing for? What are you obsessed with? All right? Because the willpower won't take you there. The discipline won't take you there. What if you get discouraged and you're like, ah, fuck this, I don't want to do it anymore? The motivation won't take you there because it's going to burn out. Okay? What's the why? It's the why, the desire and the obsession. Why am I showing up every day? Why am I actually doing this? Why am I creating songs? Why am I going to the gym and shooting shots every single day in the morning? Why am I on the streets playing football with other people and trying to learn these skills and trying to go pro and help my mother out? Why am I creating so many songs? Why am I trying to escape this restriction that I'm currently in? I want this life of freedom. Why do I want that life of freedom? What is your desire and obsession? You can be a disciplined person, but if you don't care, it will feel like a chore, not a purpose. All right? I'll say that again. You can be a disciplined person, but if you don't care, it'll feel like a chore, not a purpose. And we see this so many times in our own lives. So many times I'm going to the gym or I'm showing up for training and something like that, and I'm disciplined. That is discipline. That's consistency. Okay? You're showing up. Let's say you go to the gym 5 times a week, all right? I'm going 5 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe, whatever your schedule is. You're showing up and you hit all that consistency throughout the week. That is consistent. That is discipline. But I don't really feel like going. This feels like a chore. This feels like, oh, I'm waking up another day. I need to go to the gym again. I need to get a workout in. Oh, this is horrible. I don't want to do this. But I still show up. That's discipline, but discipline without fuel, discipline without a desire, discipline without an obsession. It's just discipline, plain and simple. And eventually that can run out. Because those are the days when you feel that way, those are the days where somebody can easily say to you, yo, do you want to actually go to a party because there's going to be some girl over there and she thinks you're cute and so on and so forth. And because you're still disciplined, but there's no fuel behind it, that that person asking you to come out instead of going to the gym and sticking to your plan, you are easily swayed now. You will be like, you know what? I've been consistent. Let me skip out on this. Let me go to that party. Okay? But if you had your desire and you had your obsession, it is easier to say, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay locked in. I'm going to stay focused on my own craft. But because you're disciplined without fuel, there's nothing pushing you really, except for the actual routine and the routine you've built over the years of I'm the type of person and the identity you built that I'm the person that goes to the gym, I'm the person that shows up to training, I'm the person that writes songs, I'm the person that's gonna keep doing this because you've built that identity and routine. It's now embedded within you. All right. But if you don't really have a why or a drive or an obsession or a desire pushing you towards that discipline, any other plans that come up can easily throw you off that path because you're not as strong. All right. The willpower is there, the discipline is there. That's why you keep going. But the desire and obsession is not there. All right. This is why you see people fall out of love for their craft. Okay. That's not entirely true. Okay, you can't just fall out of love with something that you've been doing for like decades of your life or all of your life. How can you just fall out of love with that? They don't fall out of love with it. They just don't have the emotion attached to it anymore. It becomes what's the word for it? Like it becomes rigid, it becomes monotone, it becomes just, stale. That's it. That's just it. I'm going to training. That's just it. There's nothing I'm fighting for. There's no desire there. I'm just going because I'm the person that should be going. That's the identity I've built in my head. But they fall out of love with their craft because there's no emotion backed up anymore. When a person becomes successful, you see those people that are at the top of their game, they're not training as hard anymore like the person that hasn't got to where he wants to be. The person on the come up is hungry. That is the definition of desire and obsession. They are hungry because they have somewhere to go. But the person at the top of their game, if they don't have desire and obsession, they're not hungry anymore. They've made it. What's there to be hungry about? What's there to be hungry about when you've made it? You have a full plate, you have a full belly, you've eaten. But the person on the come up, they don't have a full plate. They haven't eaten yet. They're hungry, they're obsessed. They have a desire. They have a why. And they're going after that. Okay? That's why discipline and willpower is not enough. You need to have an emotion in it. Emotion is key. Like a car that drives. A car is always going to drive. Every time you start a car up, most likely it's going to start up and it's going to drive. You are the obsession. The driver is the obsession. The fuel, the petrol, the diesel, that is the emotion. Without the driver, without the emotion, without the fuel, without the battery packs and all that stuff as well, the little things that make the car run, the car is disciplined because it knows what it needs to do. The car drives. That's what it does. But without the driver, it's obsession. Without the petrol or the diesel, it's fuel, it's emotion. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't want to do what it needs to do. Okay? You need to have that emotion. It's energy in motion. It's key. Let's get into these success traits, okay? The first trait is a superiority complex, an uncanny amount of belief in oneself. You must believe you're better than others, period. That's it. You need to believe that there's nobody like you in this world. You are one of a kind, and that is actually true. You are one of a kind. You have your own skills, you have your own traits, you have your own systems, you have your own assets that you need to utilize. You need to believe that you are better than others, okay? Because the rates of you being born, like the percentage of you actually like coming into this world, like this is the thing that I don't understand. People need to really fathom this. Like the chances of you being put in this world in the first place is harder than you becoming successful in life. All right? You being on this planet, you watching this video right now, you being born is absolutely difficult. And of all the little sperms and the eggs and the embryos and whatever, you came out and you're telling me that you're not special. Out of every single thing, out of that whole race, you're telling me that I'm not special, that I'm not on this planet for a reason. What the fuck is that? That is not possible. Okay? You are here for a reason. You have a gift. You are special. No one is better than you. Believe that you are better than others. Don't be cocky about it or arrogant about it. Know your place, of course. Use your discernment, but put the work in and believe that you are better than others. Put the work in like you are becoming better than others. Okay? No one's better than you ever. They may just have more time in the arena. That's simply it. Okay? For an upcoming football player, Ronaldo, okay? You can't compete with Ronaldo now because he's almost at the end of his game, whatever. But if you look at his whole career, he had his time. Yes, it's very rare to see another player like Cristiano Ronaldo, but the possibility is not zero. And if someone out there, A kid out there genuinely believes that he is better than others, eventually he will have his time. They will have their time. They will also be that new figure for football. They will also be that superior player. They will also be that player where people look at in awe, just like Cristiano Ronaldo. He may even overthrow Cristiano Ronaldo's stats in history. Not currently right now, because nobody's like that right now. But over time, everyone has their time. Legends come and go. And Cristiano's time is almost over. Eventually, there'll be someone else to take that spot. Okay? And that's what I mean by you need to believe that no one's better than you. They just had more time in the arena than you. There is no fake it till you make it. I hate that shit. I really do. I would say delude yourself until it's real. Fake it till you make it just because you're acting. Oh, I'm acting like I'm gonna be this. I'm acting like I'm gonna reach this place that I'm trying to go to. And then when you come home and you're not in front of people, you just go back to normal. That's the thing. Is who are you when no one's watching? So delude yourself, which means go the extra mile and put things in your environment to literally simulate the new reality that you want to live in. Okay? If you want to be a boxer, put things in your reality that simulate that. I don't care what you have to do. If you have to fucking put a boxing bag in your fucking room just to hit the bag to feel like a boxer, do that. Don't go out into the world in front of people acting like, yeah, I'm a boxer, I'm faking it till I make it. And then when you come home or when no one's watching you, you're just doing nothing about being a boxer. That's what I mean by delude yourself, which means every single thing you do is orbiting the main thing you want to become. You're not acting it, you're putting it in front of your face. You're exposing yourself to it constantly, 24/7, which is deluding yourself. And once you do that, your brain has no choice but to put more things in front of you that simulate the new reality that you want to achieve. Delude yourself until it's real. Don't fake it till you make it. We're not acting, okay? We actually want this shit. We actually want to grow. So make it happen. The only difference between a genius and a madman is evidence. That's simply it, okay? The belief is there for both of them. They both believe that their experiments or whatever it is, their hypothesis or their realization is amazing. The only thing is evidence. Once the genius proves, or I guess once the madman proves that whatever he figured out, whatever he did, or whatever he wanted to become, he became. Once the world realizes that, oh, he actually done it, then they start complimenting. Then they start saying, oh, wow, he's actually a genius. He's actually amazing. He's actually a legend. He's so skilled. He's so talented. Okay? A lot of these successful people were not talented. They were not skilled. I'm not skilled. I'm not talented. You're probably not super skilled or super talented. All right? You're not like these 6-year-old kids that got scouted by Disney when they were 6, 5, 7, 8. All right? These guys started their career way early. Okay? If you're like me, you're probably like 17, 18, 20, 22, still working away, still trying to build yourself up. All right? The only thing is evidence. Okay? The only thing is evidence. When you actually become what you say you will, before that, everybody will laugh and clown you. But when you actually become what you say you will, then they'll start congratulating you. Then they'll start saying, oh, I always believed in you. Then they'll start saying, oh, you're a genius. Then they'll start saying, you're amazing. You're so talented. You're so skilled. That's the thing. It's evidence. All right? Belief in oneself and ruthless self belief, ruthless action becomes into evidence. Ronaldo believes he is literally the best and there's no one like him. He's not humble about it, he's confident about it, and because of him putting that energy out there and believing it, it leads to the next trait. Before we get there, though, we know Ronaldo's story. If you don't know his story, this guy literally believes he is the best in the whole football world. He doesn't care about any rival. He doesn't care about Messi. He doesn't care about Neymar. He doesn't care about Ibrahimovic. He doesn't care about any other rival. This guy genuinely believes he is the best. He's not humble about it. Look at his interviews. He is not humble about it. He will tell you straight to your face that I am the best. Okay? Because he genuinely believes it. And how he plays is proof of him believing it. Because how he plays is like a confident, almost arrogant player. He doesn't care. He genuinely believes it. And that's the same ruthless self belief you need in yourself. You need that superiority complex within reason. It can go out of control. We don't want you to have narcissism. We don't want you to become arrogant. Use your discernment. But if someone's really better than you, then give them their flowers. That's the discernment. But you need to have that superiority complex. You need to really believe that I am the shit. I am him, and I am going to get to where I need to be. Because he's so confident and he's put that energy out there, it leads to the second trait, which is crippling insecurity, heavy internal pressure. And we have MJ, for example, here now. Okay? Because you now believe that you're superior than others, and you believe that you are really supposed to be great, and you believe that I can do this and I am better than others, and it's just a matter of time. Of course, once you haven't made it yet, once you're still on the come up and everything, your external reality will now start to reflect that. Because you've heightened that awareness of I'm actually a lot better than I think I am. I'm actually a lot better than people think I am as well, and I'm genuinely good. I'm a great. Because you believe this now and you keep saying it to yourself, that heightens the awareness of it. And because that awareness is heightened, now your insecurities, your inadequacies are also heightened as well as a result, which leads to insecurity. Because internally, you know what you're capable of, but externally, you're not there yet. Externally, you probably can't even do it properly yet. Okay? You become insecure because you believe you're better, but the world can't see that and you're not where you want to be. So there's no proof that you're better than others. There's no proof that you're a great as you say you are. All right? But internally, you know it. You know what you're capable of. You know what you can do. And because of that gap, it creates a crippling insecurity. Because now you have big shoes to fill. You have big shoes to fill. You put that energy out there, and now you need to prove it. Not to the world, even though it'll feel like that, but you also need to prove it to yourself, most importantly. Because although you can feel it within you that I am destined to be great, at the end of the day, it's just a feeling. Okay? So it's up to you to really put the work in, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, as it's not insecurity in the classic sense. It's insecurity because you know what you're capable of, but you just haven't done it yet. That's where the pressure comes from. It's pressure. It feels bad. It's like, damn, I said this. Why am I still not there yet? 4 years later, why am I still not there yet? It's a crippling sense of insecurity. It results in you wanting to prove yourself, which goes in both ways, externally or internally. Usually ends up as both, but there's always a dominant one. Okay? And what I mean by that is some people, most people will probably want to prove it externally. So they're going to do all these things to prove it externally that no, I am a great boxer. I am a great musician. I am a great influencer. I am a great football player. I am a great this or that. Or you will do it internally and you try to prove it to yourself. And this is where it can get shaky because if you're not careful, you can really ruin everything for yourself here. This part here, you can really ruin everything for yourself. If you get swallowed up in that insecurity and that pressure, then that's it. Like you're not really gonna move. You're not really gonna improve because it's too much. It's overwhelming. It's overstimulating. You don't know what to do anymore. You know. But if you're able to push past that insecurity, if you can regulate yourself and you can still keep that drive and you still know where you're headed, then things will stay on course. You'll still kind of have that. You still have that desire. You still have that obsession. You still have that drive because you know where you're headed. But you can easily get lost in that insecurity and pressure. And if you're truly ambitious, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know it's landing for somebody. So Michael believed he was destined to be the best, just like Ronaldo did. All these guys have the same traits within them. I'm just using each one of them to hone in on the exact parts because that's the whole point. Like Ronaldo represents that superiority complex, MJ represents that insecurity because he was a lot more insecure than we think. All right, he was this perfect icon, most popular man on the planet. He was insecure. Okay, he had a lot of troubles. He had a lot of trauma. He had a lot of shit that he had to deal with. All right, he was destined. He believed he was destined to be the best. He forced himself to perfection. That's literally what he did because he knew that I want to become somebody that's great. Because I'm saying this, I have to get there now, or else I wouldn't be saying it in the first place. So he literally forged himself into perfection. His image, his nose, the whole nose thing, his nose was fine. But he hated it. He wanted it to be perfect. His image, his clothes, his music, his dancing, his rehearsals, everything about him was just perfected. So much attention to detail. It's like he literally sculpted himself. All right. He was Michael Jackson before, but before he became Michael Jackson, he literally sculpted Michael Jackson. All right. And a lot of that was fueled with desire, obsession, discipline, yes. But it was also fueled with that insecurity because he knew he had a goal in mind, in heart. He had the goal to become a great. He literally says this: I want to become great. He studied the greats. He studied all these type of things. He perfected everything. But because he wanted that goal, it created a lot of insecurity within him because it's a big goal. All right, it's a big goal, and big goals are scary. And if you're not ready for them, as I said, you will crumble underneath that pressure. And he felt the pressure. He had his dad and his brothers and his family as well giving him that pressure as well. Because he put that goal out there, people saw the talents within him as well. It creates pressure, all right? But he didn't fold in that pressure. Although the insecurity wasn't fueled by the classic sense, it was fueled by the vow to become everything he ever dreamed of. Okay? That's why this crippling insecurity is actually a blessing. All right? Because if you genuinely believe you're great and you still feel insecure about it because you know you're not there yet, internally you're there, but externally you haven't proven it yet, it's a beautiful gift to have. Because that is your emotion. That is your why. That is a powerful emotion to utilize. And if you can tap into that insecurity, if you can tap into it and actually use it as fuel, you'll go far. That insecurity led him to perfect everything about him, his image. Okay? And because of it, it led him to perfect everything, which landed with the last trait, which is a strong impulse control, laser focused discipline. This is the last trait of the three. Without the other two traits, this discipline is simply just discipline. Okay? I know I already mentioned how discipline is not enough. Yes, it's needed, but this is impulse control. Okay? It's discipline. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But impulse control puts it in a different light. Once again, no matter how disciplined you are, you're human. We get tired. Okay? With the rest of the other traits, discipline becomes a purpose and choice instead of a chore. That's the difference. It's basically what I said before. Without the other two traits, this impulse control, this discipline, simply is just discipline. It kind of feels like a chore, like you have to drag yourself there all the time. But with the other two traits, with the superiority complex, with the insecurity, the fear of not reaching where you said you were going to be, this discipline becomes purpose, it becomes desire, it becomes obsession. You have the impulse and instinct to act towards your purpose every damn day. And that's the epitome of Kobe Bryant. Because we know that's all he did. He was in the gym 24/7, in the gym, watching film, in the gym, studying, in the gym, taking up shots, in the gym. That's all he did. He was a student of the craft, he was a student of the game. All right. Anything else that does not align with your purpose, where you're headed, food, dates, distractions, parties, etc., will all be rejected instantly. All right. You won't even have to think about it, no hesitation. It will be rejected instantly because you know where you're headed. That is impulse control. Somebody can offer you pizza. Nah, I'm good. I have my body to build. I know what it wants to look like. I gotta build it. Somebody offers you to go to this party. Nah, I'm good. I know where I want to go. I know what goals I want to achieve. I want to stay focused. All right? That is impulse control. Because if you didn't have the impulse control, then you would act on impulse. That's the whole point of it. All right? If you did not have impulse control, you would act on impulse. Oh, this food looks good. Let me just eat it. Not even caring about what it's doing to your body. Oh, this girl looks good. Let me go chat to her. End up fucking her. Wasting my seed, wasting my energy. Impulse. Oh, this party looks fun. I'm gonna go to this party. Impulse. You're acting on impulse. All right. There's no thought process. You're just swaying like a leaf in the wind, just going towards whatever you think is fun, whatever you think will give you happiness. That is instant gratification. With impulse control, you need delayed gratification, and it's gonna suck. It will suck. All right. Discipline is boring. Self control is boring. It's unrewarding. All right. People will always say, eat this, sleep with her, enjoy this party. No, reject it. You're focused. And if you have that, my bad, my bad. If you have that, if you have that, the other two traits, if you have that superiority complex, you have that insecurity, you have the desire and obsession, that saying no becomes much easier than if you didn't. Okay? Saying no becomes much easier than if you didn't. Kobe knew he wanted to become a great. Every day was filled with the same boring, repetitive training. That's all success takes. It's the same shit every single day. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's literally like so rigid. It's boring, bro. It's literally boring. But you can find beauty in it. You can find fun in it. But in all reality, it's not fun. It's not the most, stimulating thing. It gets boring. But he knew he wanted to become a great, and he did that every single day. That's what allowed him to perfect his craft. He knew he was better than others. He believed it. Another player that also believed and played that he was better than others didn't care about it. He's known for the Mamba mentality. He didn't care. He knew he was better than others. He felt he was better than others. Even if he wasn't, he trained as if he was becoming better than others. Okay? He knew he had to live up to that title. He knew he had to be strong. And to have a strong impulse control, man must be strong. That's those three traits. Okay? Superiority complex, crippling insecurity, strong impulse control. You lack these traits because belief gives direction. And maybe you do have direction. You have a little bit of an idea of where you want to go, but it's not enough. Okay? You don't have that uncanny level of self belief. And because you lack that, it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. So, because that's not strong enough, your insecurity also isn't strong enough. Because insecurity gives pressure. And you don't have that pressure because you've never had to feel not good enough, or you never had to feel like you weren't exceptional, or you were never treated like you were not good enough. Okay, you don't doubt yourself enough. You overestimate your abilities. All right, and because of that, your insecurity also isn't as powerful. And because of that, discipline sustains execution. But because you don't have the fuel for your discipline, because there's no superiority complex as strong, there's not that much insecurity. Because of that, there's not that much feel or emotion. Your discipline isn't as powerful. Your impulse control isn't as powerful. So you're either tired or you've already lost conviction. And you're just showing up every day unconsciously because you've built the identity, but there's no why behind it. You're not selfish enough. And this is something that I'm going to add on myself. All right. Selfish men succeed. It's true. It's just how it's always been. They'll hate you for it at first, but later they'll praise you. You know, selfish men succeed. You need to front load everything, especially if you're a young guy, such as myself or my peers or anyone younger. If you really want to do something and you really want to get somewhere, you need to be selfish in those early years, which means all the money is going back to you, all your time is going to you. I'm not saying be a dickhead. I'm not saying, don't go out with your friends or don't do this, don't spoil people. If you have a girlfriend, don't give her gifts or whatever. But use your discernment. All right, keep it at a 90-10%. And if you're really cutthroat, keep it at a 95 to 5% ratio. You need to be selfish because that's what's going to guarantee you to be able to put all that energy, time, and money into yourself. So when you do become successful, then you can spill it back into others' cups. That's what I have to quote here. I don't know who said that quote, but or even where I've heard it, but I'd love to give you the world, but first I need to go out and get it. All right, and it's like the quote that people say it's like their girl. It's like, oh, I'd love to give her the world, but first I need to go out and get it. So it's like I can't give you the world now because I'm not where I want to be. You know, these are both 18. Let's say you and your girl are both 18. You can't give her the world, bro. You're 18. You're broke. You're ugly. You're probably not even like out of school. Like you're still building your life up. You know, so because you'd love to give her the rope, but you can't do it first. You need to go out and get it. That's what I mean by the selfishness. You need to have that selfish attitude, not a dickhead attitude, not selfish in the classic sense, just selfish with your own personal time, your own personal resources. Okay? Because before you can give people the world, you need to go out and get it. And that's what I mean by that. So these traits, they can be built, of course, they can be built, but a lot of the times they stem from traumatic events, survival mode environments, dark environments, painful environments. So a lot of the times the people that have got these traits didn't have the easiest upbringing. That's why I said when I see successful people, I don't just see success and happiness and joy. I also see the dark side of it. I also see the pain. I also see the sacrifice. I also see the trauma because that's also the fuel that was used to become successful in the first place. You don't know what they had to go through. You don't know what you're going to have to go through. You don't know what I'm going to have to go through or have been through to get to where I'm at. Okay? So, the more messed up your life is, the more you must learn to use the damage you have inflicted upon yourself and life has inflicted upon you as well. Okay? And I'm not trying to glorify the suffering because that's not all it is. You can't just glorify suffering. Oh, you must suffer more to succeed. Nah. But I am just saying the people that do suffered more, that or have suffered more, they have more of a reason to become successful. And not everyone uses it. Most people that have suffered stay where they are because they're in survival mode. They're not actually growing at all because they don't even know how to grow. But if you have the awareness and you have unlocked that awareness, that's your key. That's your gift. And I need you to use that. You need to use that because you are capable. You wouldn't have the awareness if you weren't capable of it, but you are capable of becoming everything you want to become. You That's just it. You like it's these three traits. Superiority complex, believe that you are better than others. All right? And in turn of having that belief, you will feel pressure, you'll feel fear. What if I'm not as good as I think I am? What if I don't reach those levels that I actually want to reach? That's the pressure. That's the insecurity. It's not insecure in the sense of, oh, I'm ugly, I'm shit, I'm this, I'm that. It's not like that. It's insecurity in the sense of pressure. Okay? And once you have that, impulse control, control yourself, self mastery. Ronaldo represented the ego, MJ represented the insecurity, and Kobe represented that mastery. That's why I use these three as examples. Best examples that I could find. Okay? There's many people out there as well. So if you want to use your own examples, whoever you're thinking of that you look up to or whatever, I don't look up to these guys like that, but obviously I'll take inspiration from them. But whoever that you take inspiration from, you can use as your own examples. But I've studied so many greats, I've studied so many people, successful people, and these traits are literally mostly in all of them. Okay? And that's what you gotta use. You gotta use the cards you're dealt with. So that's it for this video. Please like, share, comment down below, and subscribe to this channel, of course. Um, I even know why I said it like that, bro. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, that's it for this video once again. So, yeah, if you need any help or anything like that, comment down below your struggles and I will reach out to you and I will make a video for that. Or if you want it to be more private, then obviously just email me or send me a message on Instagram. Or, of course, sign up to my one on one coaching and I will help you out with any struggles that you do have. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.